Well, imagine a dinner party with a lawyer, a comedian, a pastor, a biker, a breast cancer survivor, and someone who had worked with Mother Teresa. What an eclectic dinner party that would be. But imagine all those people come to life in just one person, and you have our featured speaker this morning. Join me in welcoming Susan Sparks.
We all, in our own way, try to be the repairer of the breach, the rebuilder of the ruins. In my own life, I try to do this through the power of humor. It's like a billboard that Toby and I saw. We were driving through Minnesota last summer. Big billboard on the side of the interstate. At the top, it said, Minnesota Cremation Society. Which, funny, right? Because why would they be advertising? It's so weird. Anyway, it says Minnesota Cremation Society. Then it has an image, a photograph of a casket. And at the bottom, it says, think outside the box. Right? Isn't that great? Love that. Sometimes we have to think outside the box. I did not grow up in a tradition that I felt like a comedian would be welcome in the church. I mean, we can't help it. Baptists come out of Puritan roots. Y'all know about Puritanism, right? The haunting fear that somewhere, somehow, someone is happy. Ooh, yeah. But here's the thing. The biggest difference I found in moving from the South up north was, get ready, religion. Now, I myself was raised Southern Baptist. Please do not all run for the door at once. Yes, Southern Baptists, they can toe a pretty hard line. But here's one thing that you can say about the Southern Baptist, a polite thing. You can always count on their theology to be short and sweet, like their idea of heaven. You ain't Southern Baptist, you ain't coming. Short and sweet. Every year we take a big 2-week cross-country motorcycle drive, and a couple of years ago, love this, Toby and I were turned away from a motel because they thought we were Hell's Angels. I'm so proud of that. So proud. I'm trying to remember, it was like maybe 2006, something like that. Anyway, we'd been riding all day, like 500 miles, and yes, we looked a little scary, okay, clothes were a little dirty, had the biker leathers, the fake tattoos, blah, 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 what most ministers wear on a bike trip. And so we go in, Toby's getting the bike ready, and I go into the motel, and the woman goes, we're full. I'm like, there's no cars in the parking lot, it's just us, we just want one room. She goes, no, we're full. I said, really? She goes, we don't rent to your type. And I said, well, what type might that be? And she said, biker, Hell's Angel kind of people. Well, at that point in time, I just burst out laughing. I was like, oh, that's good. Yeah, no. You can understand. I'm a Baptist minister on vacation. Yeah. And my husband is a retired federal prosecutor. It's all good. It's fine. Right. She leans across the counter and she says, the Bible says it's wrong to lie. Oh, yes. I'm rarely speechless, so I didn't know what to say. So I just kind of backed away slowly. Went outside, said, we got to go next door to the Sea and Sand Motel or whatever, which, can we just talk about how suspect a name like that is in Montana? Sea and Sand. At least they were biker friendly, right? So we go in, I change, get dressed up with a new Clean Harley t-shirt. And I told Toby, I said, I'll be right back. He goes, no, really don't. Okay. Take my business card, Reverend Susan Sparks, pastor, Madison Avenue Baptist Church, la, 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 back to the motel, put it on the counter, and I was like, Bible also says, judge not. I think the biggest place where laughter becomes a lifeboat, a lifesaver, is in times of crisis, true crisis and tragedy. I was in New York on 9/11. The day after 9/11, I was working for the Red Cross, and we were taking calls, inbound calls from people. It was search and rescue, so they were calling, reporting people that they knew were missing in the towers. A woman comes on the line, starts describing her husband to me, who was in one of the towers, and telling me about what he was wearing, telling me where he worked, and then she just burst out laughing. Oh, I forgot to tell you, he left the house with the worst tie on. Oh. It was so awful. It had like these little pigs, and it had these umbrellas, and it didn't match his suit. It was just, it was so awful. I didn't know what to say. And there was this long silence. Finally, she comes back on the phone, and she goes, you know, humor may sound inappropriate to you right now, but it's all my family and I have left. And it was in that moment that I realized that humor can be a lifeboat in times of crisis. When we live those gifts, which of course at the top of the list is joy, hope, and possibility, it's in that moment that we transform. We transform. We blossom into our possibility. We become, as individuals and as people, healers of the breach. Thank you so much.